Chernobyl's Forbidden Zone, Monsters and Myths. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're venturing into one of the most mysterious and haunting places on Earth, Chernobyl's Forbidden Zone. Have you ever wondered what secrets lie within its abandoned buildings and overgrown streets? Is it just a silent relic of the past, or do monsters and myths lurk in the shadows? From tales of mutant creatures to eerie ghost stories, Chernobyl is a place where reality and legend intertwine. Imagine stepping into a place frozen in time, where nature has reclaimed everything, and the echoes of the past whisper through empty hallways. That's Chernobyl's exclusion zone, a real-life ghost town that's been fueling legends for decades. In today's video, we're peeling back the layers of mystery surrounding this enigmatic area. We'll explore the stories of monsters and myths that have emerged, fueled by isolation and the lingering effects of one of the world's worst nuclear disasters. The Chernobyl disaster, a brief recap. First things first, let's set the stage with a quick recap. On April 26, 1986, during a routine safety test, Reactor 4 at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine exploded. The blast released massive amounts of radioactive material into the atmosphere, affecting millions across Europe. The immediate aftermath was chaotic. The nearby city of Pripyat, home to nearly 50,000 people, was evacuated within 36 hours. Residents left everything behind, thinking they'd return in a few days, but they never did. This zone became a deserted landscape, a stark reminder of the invisible menace of radiation. It's within this eerie backdrop that our legends and myths begin to take shape. So, what does the exclusion zone look like now? Fast forward more than 3 decades, and you'll find a place that's both hauntingly beautiful and eerily silent. Trees grow through the floors of abandoned schools, vines wrap around rusting playground equipment, and wild animals roam streets that were once bustling with life. The city of Pripyat stands as a chilling time capsule, its Soviet-era architecture slowly crumbling under the weight of time and vegetation. The infamous Ferris wheel, once a symbol of joy, now stands motionless, a silent sentinel over the deserted city. Walking through the zone feels like stepping into a post-apocalyptic world. It's this surreal environment that fuels the imagination and lays the groundwork for tales of monsters and myths. When a place is shrouded in mystery and left untouched for so long, stories are bound to emerge. The isolation and secrecy of Chernobyl have given birth to numerous myths and legends. Tales of mutated creatures, supernatural sightings, and unexplained phenomena have captured the curiosity of many. People began sharing stories about strange occurrences, odd noises echoing through empty buildings, mysterious lights flickering in the night, and bizarre shadows moving just out of sight. But why are we so drawn to these tales? Perhaps it's our innate curiosity, or maybe it's a way to make sense of something so catastrophic. Either way, the myths surrounding Chernobyl have become an integral part of its identity. One of the most enduring legends is that of mutant creatures roaming the exclusion zone. Stories circulate about massive wolves with glowing eyes, flocks of birds with strange patterns, and giant catfish swimming in the cooling ponds. Some say they're as big as boats. Eyewitness accounts from visitors and workers add fuel to these tales. Some claim to have seen animals exhibiting bizarre behaviors or physical anomalies. There are even reports of strange, hybrid creatures that don't exist anywhere else on the planet. These stories tap into our fascination with how radiation might alter living organisms. The idea of nature warped by nuclear energy is both terrifying and compelling, making these legends all the more enticing. Scientific perspective on mutations. Now, let's put on our science hats and see what reality has to say. Radiation can indeed cause mutations, but the truth is often less sensational than the myths. Most radiation-induced mutations are harmful and don't result in the creation of monsters. Researchers have conducted numerous studies on the flora and fauna within the exclusion zone. While some genetic mutations have been observed, like changes in coloration or minor physical deformities, they're typically subtle. There's no concrete evidence to support the existence of giant, mutated creatures. Interestingly, many species are actually thriving due to the lack of human activity. The zone has become a de facto wildlife sanctuary, showcasing nature's incredible resilience. So, while you might not find a mutant wolf with 3 heads, you'll witness a unique and flourishing ecosystem. Now, let's delve into one of the most chilling legends, the Black Bird of Chernobyl. According to some accounts, in the days leading up to the disaster, workers at the power plant reported seeing a mysterious creature. Described as a large, dark figure with giant wings and piercing red eyes, it was said to hover ominously over the plant. Those who encountered the creature allegedly experienced nightmares and received threatening phone calls. Then, after the explosion, sightings of the black bird ceased. The parallels to the Mothman legend from West Virginia are striking. Both creatures reportedly appeared before catastrophic events. Skeptics argue that these stories are the result of stress, fear, and mass hysteria. There's no tangible evidence to confirm the existence of the black bird, but the legend persists, adding an eerie layer to Chernobyl's already haunting narrative. Ghosts and supernatural encounters. Ghost stories? Yep, Chernobyl has those too. Visitors and workers have reported eerie experiences, unexplained footsteps echoing in empty corridors, shadows moving in the corner of your eye, and distant whispers carried by the wind. Some claim to have seen spectral figures dressed in Soviet-era clothing, wandering the abandoned streets as if trapped in time. Others have heard laughter near deserted playgrounds, or music playing faintly in the background where no electricity exists. Psychologists suggest that these experiences can be attributed to the mind's reaction to desolation and the creepy atmosphere. Our brains are wired to find patterns and may amplify minor stimuli when we're in unfamiliar, unsettling environments. But for those who've experienced it, the line between imagination and reality can blur. Pop culture has played a significant role in shaping perceptions of Chernobyl. Video games like the Stalker series and movies like Chernobyl Diaries have painted the exclusion zone as a place teeming with mutants, anomalies, and supernatural phenomena. These stories blend real locations with fictional elements, creating immersive worlds that captivate audiences. While they're entertaining, they also blur the lines between fact and fiction, reinforcing myths and shaping how people view the actual site. On the flip side, they generate interest and bring attention to Chernobyl, albeit through a sensationalized lens. It's a double-edged sword, raising awareness but also perpetuating misconceptions about what truly exists within the zone. Exploring the zone. Fact-finding missions. Over the years, scientists, researchers, and even tourists have ventured into the exclusion zone. Equipped with Geiger counters and protective gear, they've explored the area to study its environmental impact and to document their findings. These expeditions have uncovered fascinating insights. Rather than finding evidence of monstrous mutations, researchers have observed how ecosystems adapt and survive in contaminated environments. Their work helps debunk myths, replacing fear with understanding. Photographers and filmmakers have also captured the haunting beauty of the zone, showing the world a place that's more about quiet reflection than lurking horrors. These fact-finding missions add layers of reality to the narrative, grounding the myths in tangible evidence. One of the most remarkable aspects of Chernobyl is nature's comeback story. In the absence of humans, wildlife populations have flourished. Wolves, bears, lynxes, and numerous bird species have made the exclusion zone their home. This phenomenon challenges our understanding of the long-term effects of radiation. While contamination is undoubtedly harmful, the lack of human interference has allowed ecosystems to recover in unexpected ways. The zone has essentially become one of Europe's largest wildlife sanctuaries. Human intrusion and its consequences. Despite the dangers, the exclusion zone attracts thrill-seekers and urban explorers. Some enter illegally, driven by curiosity or the desire for an adrenaline rush. Others are scavengers looking to loot abandoned properties. These intrusions pose significant risks, not just to the individuals but also to the environment. Disturbing the area can spread contamination, disrupt wildlife, and impede ongoing scientific research. Authorities have increased patrols and imposed stricter penalties, but the allure of the forbidden continues to draw people in. It's a topic that raises ethical questions about how we interact with places marked by tragedy. Should the zone be left undisturbed, or is there value in exploring and documenting it? The psychological impact. Venturing into Chernobyl's exclusion zone isn't just a physical journey, it's a psychological one as well. The desolate landscapes, silent streets, and constant reminder of past tragedy can have profound effects on the mind. Experts suggest that such environments can heighten anxiety and fear, making people more susceptible to experiencing what they believe are supernatural phenomena. The brain, seeking patterns and explanations, may interpret natural sounds or shadows as something otherworldly. Understanding this psychological impact helps explain why so many myths persist. It's not necessarily that the paranormal exists, but that our minds are capable of creating these experiences under certain conditions. It's a fascinating glimpse into human perception and the power of the environment on our psyche. The reality behind the myths. So, after exploring these legends, where do we stand? While the tales of monsters and myths add intrigue, the reality of Chernobyl is still incredibly compelling. It's a place that embodies both human error and nature's ability to rebound. The myths persist because we're naturally drawn to the mysterious and unexplained. They serve as modern folklore, capturing our imagination. However, it's important to distinguish between fiction and fact, especially when considering the lessons and legacy of Chernobyl. By focusing on the real stories, the human impact, the environmental recovery, and the scientific discoveries, we gain valuable insights that myths alone can't provide. Chernobyl isn't just a site of disaster, it's a complex symbol of technological risk, human resilience, and environmental adaptation. The event highlighted the importance of safety measures, transparent communication, and international cooperation in handling nuclear technology. Reflecting on Chernobyl encourages us to consider how we approach energy production, disaster response, and ecological conservation. The exclusion zone serves as both a warning and a testament to recovery. Understanding the true narrative helps ensure that the critical lessons aren't overshadowed by sensational stories. It reminds us that while myths are captivating, the realities often hold more significant meaning. We've journeyed through the eerie landscapes of Chernobyl's forbidden zone, delved into the myths of mutant creatures and ghostly apparitions, and separated fact from fiction. It's a place that captivates the imagination and challenges our perceptions. At the end of the day, Chernobyl is more than just a setting for spooky stories. It's a real place with a profound history and valuable lessons for humanity. By respecting the truth, we honor those affected by the disaster and contribute to a more informed dialogue.